Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. Nifty move. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Steps away to his left. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun, because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Hurry up, here we go.
This is Howard on 2nd down. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Earl Thomas in on the stop. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. The cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills. You get the full package with him.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Needed 13. They got 14 on 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Nazir Jones there on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And out now come the Seahawks. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
He finds an opening past the 40, and he takes it all the way up to the 47. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at 2nd down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He lets it fly from Lockett. That's going to be caught. A big play that time for the Seahawks. And even 50 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Play action. Now Wilson on the move to his left. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters, and this is what he's always had, and that's a nose for the football. He's able to come away here with the interception.
And this is caught at the 8, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now back to throw. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Returnable for Lockett. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, Give him 15, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. 1 quarter down, 21-0 our score, and we're back to Soldier Field after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. This is Carson. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now the try here for the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Set. Green, 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about Executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll set up to throw. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, but the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. From the shotgun, Wilson flush to his right. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Extra point attempt to follow here. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now it's Lockett. Shifts by him. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's third down. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now here's Michael Dixon as his first punt will come. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Offense back out now for first and goal after the successful fake. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's fourth and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Forbath will put this one through, and that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where it was the visiting Jaguars be able to come away with the road victory. Blake Bortles, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Sam Darnold, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. And lastly, we'll wrap up the week with Monday Night Football. Definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers and the LA Chargers. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
All right, here we go.
On third down, it's Brooks, and he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The Bears on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
Back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
His throw incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go for the 40. Throwing is Wilson, buying time to his left. Now he'll throw deep left. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Seattle. 48 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Here's Wilson, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue line. Blue line.
Zach Line with it, the fullback. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Now let's go. Blue line. Blue line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Completion left side to Miller. Trot, there he goes left side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here, we do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Let's go. 3-19.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
All right, here we go.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Set. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken around the 12. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A big play that time for the Seahawks. And even 40 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A very solid gain of 27. Penny will try to punch it in. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now Rashad Penny. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
3 down. Mike's by 4.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson eluding the pressure right. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they'll indeed take a knee. That's going to set them back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. And they take a knee. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.